Hi, Timely Recaps here. Today I'm going to explain to you a romance comic movie named Virgin Territory. Get ready and don't miss out on this amazing movie recap. The movie starts with a man painting in the church who has been painting for a long time, but with no form of payment. So he goes to the priest to ask for money, but when he reaches there, he finds out that the priest has died due to a plague, which gets him so disappointed because he will not get his money. Shortly, he notices the priest's cassock there and decides to wear it so that he can pose as a priest because they are never at a shortage of anything, be it money or respect. After a short while, we see Lorenzo who is running away in fear of Gambino, who tells his companions to capture Lorenzo under any circumstances. However, Lorenzo manages to escape Gambino and his friends offer him a horse and ask him to leave the city. In the next scene, we see a girl named Pampania crying because her parents recently passed away due to a plague. Just then Gambino comes there and sympathizes with her and asks what she will do now. Pampania tells him how the king of Russia was going to come soon and how she would end up getting married to him. Gambino however tells Pampania that her father had taken too much debt from him and now after his death, all his property belonged to him and if she wanted to save the house, she would have to get married to him. On the other hand, we see Lorenzo running while Gambino's guards are behind him. He came across a man carrying a deaf and dumb man who explains to him how the dead man used to work as a gardener on a farm nearby. But he no longer works there and advises him to go and work at his former workplace in order to escape Gambino's men. However, Lorenzo climbs a tree, but Gambino's men overtake him and the branch of the tree breaks. Shortly, Lorenzo climbs a tree losing Gambino's men. Suddenly the branch of the tree broke leaving Lorenzo falling down. He faints and some nuns come and pick him up and take him to the church. Coincidentally, that's where a gardener was needed. The two nuns start teasing the unconscious Lorenzo and after a while, he gains consciousness and the mother superior comes around and the two nuns announce Lorenzo as deaf and dumb and therefore ask her to hire him as a gardener. In the next scene, while Lorenzo takes a shower, the two nuns from before come and join him, which explains why they wanted a male gardener who was deaf and dumb so that in case of any sinful acts, he wouldn't be able to tell anyone. On the other hand, we see Pampania in a church with her friends and their boyfriends and she tells them of her second home in the city where she will get married to the king of Russia. Just then Gambino comes there and asks Pampania what they are talking about, but she lies to him that they were just praying. Since the king of Russia would take some time to come to that place, Pampania had planned on staying at the church to avoid being with Gambino. As Pampania's friends leave the church, she notices two nuns with Lorenzo who introduce him as their new deaf and dumb gardener. After a while, one of the nuns takes Lorenzo to the bush and Pampania sees them and immediately understands what is going on, but this leaves her with a flash of jealousy. On the other hand, King Dzerzhinsky also reaches the palace where Gambino tells him that Pampania is going to get married to him. This angers the king who immediately leaves but is informed by someone outside that Pampania is waiting for him in another house in the city. The king immediately leaves with his comrades to the place he has been told about. On the other hand, two nuns bring food to Lorenzo in his room. The next day, Pampania confronts two nuns carrying hot water to Lorenzo and tells them that what they are doing to him is a sin. However, the nuns wave her off by telling her she is just jealous. This angers her and she pours hot water on Lorenzo's head. On the other hand, this side King Dzerzhinsky goes to meet Pampania, but just then Gambino attacks him with his guards and manages to kill all his companions, but the king manages to escape. In the next scene, we see that Pampania's feelings for Lorenzo have increased and one day she hears him singing, which notifies her that he is not deaf and dumb. One day, she goes to feed him alone and covers his face because he didn't want to know which nun came in, so Pampania blindfolds Lorenzo and kisses him. A few days later, before she leaves the church, Pampania informs the mother superior that Lorenzo has been pretending the whole time and he is not deaf and dumb, out of jealousy that he will be with another nun. On hearing this, the mother superior fires Lorenzo. Pampania passes by a sad Lorenzo who requests her to take him along with her and she agrees to it. On the other side, Dzerzhinsky sees a girl underwater and starts talking to her about the fact that he is going to marry a girl named Pampania he had never met before. On hearing this, the girl lies and pretends to be Pampania. He trusts her words and instantly develops a strong liking for her. On the other hand, Lorenzo and Pampania arrive at her house and while they are talking, he confesses to liking the girl who had kissed him in the room and that he was going to marry her and that despite the fact that he hadn't seen her face, he would look for her and get married to her. Pampania, wanting so bad to be figured out, asks Lorenzo to kiss her in order to forget the other lady, and as he moves closer to her, Gambino arrives with his guards. On seeing Lorenzo, the guards declare a fight with him. Just then the fight gets intense, and as Gambino is about to kill Lorenzo, Pampania tells him that she will not get married to him if she kills Lorenzo. On hearing this, Gambino lets Lorenzo go. Pampania's gut feeling, however, tells her that Gambino can kill Lorenzo at any time, so she tells him they should get married immediately. Gambino sends for the priest immediately and falls bait to Pampania's plan. The priest arrives, but before marrying them off, Pampania offers money to the priest and asks him to delay the wedding as much as possible, to which he agrees. Overjoyed, Gambino sends his guards to go set Lorenzo free in the woods. On the other hand, Lorenzo, being more skilled than Gambino's men, he was able to easily take them out. While rushing back to Pampania's place. Just then, Lorenzo spots Jerzinski, who is headed towards Pampania's house, and he follows him. The priest's plan of delaying the wedding fails when Gambino impatiently points a sword at him and asks him to hurriedly marry them off. As Gambino forces the priest to marry them very fast, the king arrives with a gun in his hands, which scares Gambino, who starts running away. Shortly, Lorenzo arrives, and he and the king fight and kill all Gambino's guards. So the king starts fighting with Gambino, who fails to face him when Lorenzo requests to fight with Gambino. The king, however, tells Lorenzo that if he fails to kill Gambino, he would do it himself. Lorenzo and Gambino start fighting. Gambino stands on a well during the fight, and he eventually falls inside it and dies. After a while, Pampania tells the king that she can't get married to him because she is in love with Lorenzo. During this talk, the king realizes that this was not the Pampania he had met at the lake. Shortly, he tells her he wants to get married to the girl he met at the lake. While Pampania from the lake, who happens to be Melissa, Pampania's friend, appears, and the king is so happy to see her. On the other hand, Pampania turns to Lorenzo and proposes marriage, but Lorenzo insists that he wants to get married to the girl who blindfolded him that day. So Pampania asks him to kiss her, and when he does, he realizes that she was the girl who blindfolded and kissed him that day, and therefore agreed to the marriage. The movie comes to a happy ending. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more videos like this. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, like, comment and share the video to support this channel.